Hello, once again, we're back with Tackle Talk Live, coming to you live from the banks of Sibley Lake, right here in Natchitoches, Louisiana. The devastated Sibley Lake shores from Hurricane Laura. That little witch came through here and did some damage. And as you've already noticed, we've got a few audio issues, possibly technical issues going on with our internet service. So we're hoping that we can maintain it for the next 35 minutes and keep you entertained. But today we got a special guest coming on with us. It's Sam Rayburn, Stick. He does a great job. He's a tremendous angler over there. Going to get his opinion on the upcoming Bassmaster Central Open coming up this weekend. It's Lake Sam Rayburn, and it's Cory Rambo.
Yes, sir. We, Mr. Cory, co-owner of Rambo Outdoors down in Beaumont, Orange area. They have 2 locations. Cory's a stick on Sam Rayburn. He's not fishing this Open, so he's going to be able to give us his honest opinion on this tournament and how things are going to work out. So look forward to having him on. It going to be a very interesting tournament over there, Steve.
Oh, yeah, it should be. Could be a very tough event for these guys, as you've noted to me earlier that the front that was supposed to bring all this cool weather to us this next weekend is not going to happen. So that could change everything in the outlook as far as the fishing quality at Sam Rayburn as well. Also, we got some FLW fishing news. We've got the FLW Southwestern Division results from Fort Gibson. We've also got the FLW Championship results that took place last week. And we've also got the new series dates that are being announced for the Toyota Series for 2021. 2 divisions close to this region that a lot of anglers will probably be participating in. Upcoming events and so much more right here today on Tackle Talk Live. And real quick, Kevin's going to tell us about one of our sponsors.
The Boat Shop. Mr. Raymond Kidd and his staff take great pride in keeping your boat and motor performing at its best. A certified Yamaha dealer and full support Garmin dealer offering the best electronics and the new Garmin trolling motor. They also have one of the best aluminum boats made, Sea Arc. So stop by 2410 Sanford Avenue in Shreveport and let the Boat Shop take care of all your boating needs. Give them a call at 318-402-0399 or go to shreveportboatshop.com.
And before we get to Cory Rambo, another place I want to tell you, 3J's 4-Wheel and Cypress Knee Outdoors, John Abraham. And look, guys, he invites anybody and everybody to come down there to the Cypress Knee Outdoors, which is located inside the store of 3J's 4-Way. All your hunting and fishing needs, from guns to ammos, all you teal hunters, get ready. You can go there and buy a brand new shotgun, get all your ammo in one location, decoys, you name it, he's got it. So make sure you check it out. Also, while you're there, you can pick something up from the deli. They got an outstanding lunch program there at 3J's 4-Way. Just everything you need. It's a one-stop shop for hunters, fishermen, farmers, whoever you are in that region. I'm telling you right now, you ain't going to beat when you walk in the door at 3J's 4-Way. You're not going to beat the food, the service, and the quality of product that they carry there at that store. So thank you, John Abraham, for all your support, buddy.
And last but not least, Pride Rods, American-made and custom-built here in Montgomery, Texas. The finest rods ever made by Mr. Billy Kistler, constructed with the finest North Fork composite blank by Gary Loomis. They carry all your freshwater and saltwater applications for spinning and casting rods. Pride rods, they definitely pass the eye test, but they surpass the test of performance even more. Stop by your local tackle store and pick one up, or simply ask about Pride rods. You can also go online at priderods.com or call 832-418-6040 or 936-697-4149.
I'm looking forward to this. We got Cory Rambo on the phone with us right now, and Cory, again, is one of the better anglers that I know Kevin and I compete against over there. Cory does a great job. He's a well-established angler. He's a great stick. And Cory, we're hoping you can give us some unbiased information about what you think it's going to take, since you're not participating. We're not in the tournament either. The B.A.S. Central Open coming up this week. Give us your ideas as to, hey, is it going to be tough, or are they going to whack them?
And I feel like that they're going to catch them. They're probably going to catch them good. We might not see the overall big weights, but whoever's going to be in the top 10 is going to have a couple big days in there. It's the I fished past weekend a little bit, just playing around. I'm still waiting on my boat. I currently just signed with B.A.S.S in Jorgensen Marine, so I got a little bit of time before I get my boat. It's kind of one of the reasons that I decided not to fish. Hate fishing out of lone boats. But from what I've seen, there's a lot of big ones out there setting up. I heard a couple stories this week where they've caught some really big ones, one 12-pounder up shallow in less than 3 foot of water. There's been a bunch of big ones coming deep. So I feel like there's no one pattern that's going to win this tournament. I feel like it's going to have to be those guys that mix it up. You know, they got some shallow stuff and some deep stuff. I don't think one way is going to win it.
Yeah, Cory, I agree with you 100%. And that was going to be my question: is how much is people going to have to mix up, you know, this tournament? You answered that for me there. But my next question is, I've talked to several of the guys that's been over there practicing last week before it went off limits, and several of them are singing the blues that it's pretty tough. I know the water's falling; they're generating in the middle of the day over there, and you know, they are not. A lot of the competitors are not, you know, not seeing the number of bites they expected to see.
Well, just from me idling around out deep, and I'm not known for being. I guess the most savvy when it comes to electronics and stuff. But man, once you get up in the day a little bit, all them fish are really sitting up nice out deep with the generating and the water falling and all that. So that's making a huge difference on getting them fish staged up and bunched up where somebody can wreck house if they find it, get on the right spool. I really thought this was going to be a shallow water blowout. I thought that it was going to be, you know, 6 foot or less, and it was just going to get. It was going to be a phenomenal tournament. There was supposedly a cold front coming that would have really fired that top water bite and that stuff up. But it's just kind of played out different with we didn't get near as much rain as expected with the storm. We kind of got more of the dry, windy side, so, you know, it tore up some stuff, you know, some grass and this and that. But, I've kind of got my feeling that it's going to be more of a deep thing than it is a shallow thing.
Well, you know, Cory, you know, talking to a couple of other anglers that are good deep fishermen over there the last 2 or 3 weeks, both of them have said that they're there today and they're gone tomorrow. That it's been so inconsistent out deep that they felt like to be consistent, they're going to have to go shallow to get that consistent bite. I don't know if you experienced that this weekend or not, but that's what they were saying was going on as of a week or so ago before the hurricane.
So I just let you kind of what my 3 days of fishing. Now, don't get me wrong. I was up there with a buddy, and we fished till like 10:30, 11 o'clock every day, and then we went back and spent time with the family for the rest of the day. So I fished from daylight to 10 or 11 o'clock all 3 days this weekend. Mm-hmm. First day, I really pounded shallow hard, and I just where I had been catching fish earlier in the year, the water sucked out. I didn't see what I thought that I needed to see. So the second day, I said, man, let's scratch that plan. Let's just go idling and looking. And sure enough, man, now the fish are setting up shallow deep, if that makes sense to anybody.
That 15-foot range?
Yes, that's where they're at. And from what I've seen, man, it was easy. I caught some big ones and just like, and it's like riding a bicycle, it's kind of, me and my buddy was talking. I stayed the weekend with Blake East, and we went out and we just kind of played,
Did you see any size, Cory?
Yes, we did. We seen some good ones.
Now let me ask you this. You're saying that mid-range 14, 15-foot depth. Are you marking schools of fish? Are they on some wood? Are they on some brush, structure? Or because of that generating, are they pulling out there just waiting on some shad to come by?
So from all the stuff that I guess where I caught them, I mean, there's one spot where I'm sitting in 46 foot of water and I'm throwing to 12. And I mean, like I was in his boat. I didn't have none of my waypoints, none of the lineups, nothing. I just kind of got close to some spots that I know, and it was just it was easy. I guess you would say, for not knowing exactly where I was sitting with my lineups and my waypoints, but I knew I was real close. And then there was some other areas that we could sit in 25 and throw to 14 and just work down the ledge, and you could see them on the. A lot of people. I use the 360. I love the 360. Well, you can see them fish. There'd be 6 or 7 of them in a little spot up there, and they wouldn't be moving around much. Anytime I could find those ones that wasn't just, on the screen, one rotation, and then they're gone. Those, man, I could throw at them and then get them to bite. So I feel like that's current fish that are sitting kind of on the break, letting that current flow over them. So,
Right.
I feel like right now, if I had to go fish this thing, I really feel like I'm going to focus deeper. Even though, I'm kind of a shallow water guy, but just 3 days on the water, I'm probably gonna make the choice of fishing deeper. And I know it's probably most people's bet, but I think I put my money on Chris Wilson at this point right now.
Right.
That's a good bet. I can tell you that.
Once again,
There's nobody better with electronics and the deep water stuff than Chris. And if they're out there and they can be caught, he's going to find them and catch them.
Yeah. Once again, we got Cory Rambo with us from Rambo Outdoors out of Beaumont, Texas. And again, Cory's one of the anglers that we compete against over there from time to time. Does a great job, really good stick, and has a lot of knowledge of Sam Rayburn. And Cory, a couple of weeks ago, just talking to like Albert Collins, he actually felt like, and we asked him, was this going to turn into a trash tournament, where multiple baits come into play and you're hunting and searching and you catch them here today and tomorrow you're catching them on something else tomorrow. Does this turn out, or were you finding consistency with a Carolina or a Texas rig? What was your bait of choice?
So we pretty much threw the 6-inch crankbaits and we threw Carolina rig for most of the deep stuff. Now the shallow water stuff, the way I've been catching them, of course I've been flipping grass and I've been throwing it's pretty new to the market. It's 6 Cents come out with a new wake bait. And that's something we've been asking for years for Casey to come out with, just because back in the day we used to would just catch 30-pound stringers on. The Strike King had one. It was called a wake shed back in the day. They quit making it a long time ago. And what happens with those kind of baits is nobody will talk about them. Well, nobody talks about them. They don't sell.
Yeah.
And so they quit making them. And it was one of the phenomenal fall baits. And so I think that bait is probably going to come into play on mixing it up. Somebody's going to find them a stretch of grass that they can probably that's got some big ones on it, and they can hit that stretch of grass or multiple stretches of grass throughout the day, and mix in some of that deep water stuff too. They might have a ledge or a point or something that's got some big ones on them.
For those shallow guys, Cory, the first day there might be 4 or 5, maybe shallow guys in the top 10. I just don't know if there's enough fish shallow to go 3 days.
I agree 100% on that. So, like, if
you could win a one-day tournament over there right now. You could win a one-day tournament over there right now with a shallow bite. If
without a doubt.
But for 3 straight days, you're going to have to mix in some of the deep stuff. The fish are just too spread out right now.
Well,
Right.
and they're inconsistent, like you said earlier. So today, I might catch fish on the speed wake early in the morning.
Right.
Well, the next day, they might not want to touch that. That doesn't mean they left or they're gone.
Correct.
I'm going to have to throw a different bait, maybe like a walking bait, or I'm going to have to throw or I might have to, throw a Texas rig worm off the edge of the grass. And so that's I believe what's made me and Rusty really successful through the years is, and when we get confidence in a stretch or an area, we don't get tied to how we're catching them. If we are confident that the fish are there, we're going to figure out how to catch them. And a lot of times we're not around the winning fish, but we're going to figure out how to catch the fish that we're around, which makes us consistent fishermen. And instead of the guys that go out and they'll win 2 or 3 tournaments a year, and then you don't see their name in the standings the rest of the tournaments. And then like me and Rusty, you'll see our name in a lot of the tournaments, in the top 20 or so, or top 10 a lot of times, but we don't always win. It's because we don't go out. We're not the swing for the fence type guys, I guess you would say. So that's going to be the difference in that part of it.
Well, Cory, we appreciate your insight and about what's going to take place this week. And Kevin, you got one more?
One question, Cory. One question.
All right.
What is 3-day total weight to win?
So, man, I feel like that somebody's going to have, to win, I think you're going to have a 25-pound day, and then you're going to have 2 18-pound days.
Okay. So, was it 36?
So, you're going to have to average about 21 pounds a day to possibly win.
20.
That's kind of where I'm thinking, just from what I've seen. I mean, I feel like that there's going to be several 20-pound bags weighed in.
There's no doubt.
It's all going to be about making their proper adjustments.
Yeah.
The other days to be able to duplicate that.
Yeah. Right.
Good deal.
Well, I think we'll pretty much agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, hit the nail on the head for sure. Cory, real quick before we let you go, tell us a little bit address and locations for Rambo Outdoors.
So we have a location in Orange, Texas, and we have a location in Beaumont, Texas. We're fully stocked right now. We got everything the fisherman needs. Matter of fact, we are loaded up with all the new 6 cent frogs and the wake baits, and they've been flying off the shelves. The Orange store has been shut down because of the hurricane and not having power. The Beaumont store reopened last week. Both stores are back open starting today, so we're back to normal hours and everything's good to go. So y'all come in and see us, and we have plenty of marshalling bug spray. That's big right now with all these people working on their houses and hunting season. Everybody's starting to get ready. So y'all come in and see us.
Cory, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all anytime.
All right, Cory Rambo of Rambo Outdoors right there in Beaumont. We appreciate his insight as to what we can expect this weekend. So didn't tell us anything really earth-shattering that we, didn't think. Kevin, between the two of us and with our experience over there, and just based off the feedback we've been getting from everybody.
Yeah. No, nothing caught us off guard. It is interesting to hear how well he caught them this past weekend, stating that how many guys I've talked to that has struggled.
Right.
But
right.
Again, Cory is one of the best on Sam Rayburn. He knows where they live at. But interesting to hear those weights from him also. That's a little over 20 pounds a day he's saying is going to win it.
Like I said, talking about 21 and a half.
I just don't know if it's going to take that, Steve. I'm thinking it's going to be more of a 19 a day to win it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if there's enough fish grouped up in one area to do that over 20 a day.
I do think 60 plus is what it's going to take overall. Even if you, like you said, a 25-pound bag and then a couple of 18s to follow it up, that's going to put you over 60. So, but anyway, okay, moving right along. Also, we got 3 sponsors. The Boat Shop, we want to make sure we say thank you to Raymond Kidd and his staff, 3J's 4-Way, John Abraham and the guys, and Pride Rods. Thank you, each and every one of you. Now we've got FLW fishing news. And, Kevin, I think you got some results from the Southwest Division at Fort Gibson.
Yep, results from this past week. Mr. Cameron Foster won that event, 3-day event, 41 pounds even. Second place, Dakota Eber right here from Louisiana, Denham Springs, Louisiana, with 29.03.
Yeah.
So Cameron won by
big drop.
11, 12 pounds.
Yes.
Almost 12 pounds. So, I mean, that Cameron, he's a local there at Fort Gibson, so did really well. Zach Burge finished 4th, kind of going on down. Blake Cass finished 10th place with 25.03. And now the third event, the third and final event for that will be coming up in October on Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
And Steve, right now, setting second in Angler of the Year points is our very own Mr. Justin Cooper.
Oh, hey.
He is setting
good job,
second.
Justin.
He's got checks in both events. I think he finished 3rd or 4th at Toledo event. He got a check at Fort Gibson. So he's setting second in points going into that final event. So we're going to definitely be cheering Justin on.
Good job, Justin. All right, and let's see here. FLW Championship results, which took place last week. Rusty Sawiski, he won it with 48-11, and this was a MLF-style event. The first time a lot of these guys have fished this style of fishing.
Yes.
Wasn't a 5-fish stringer. They was just catching them and weighing them just like they do in the Major League Fishing Series. And Bradford Beavers finished second at 48.03, so just ounces. Basically, 8 ounces separated those two anglers. So John Cox finished 3rd, little ways down the list at 36.14.
John Cox showed up that event with no practice. Never been on the body of water before in his life. Showed up, no practice, just went fishing, finished 3rd.
Maybe one of the most natural anglers that there is on the tour. That dude can catch them in a mud hole.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The 2021 Toyota dates have been announced, FLW Toyota Series. For you Rayburn guys, you want to make sure you check these out. So,
if you're a Rayburn guy, get ready to write the check and get your name turned in.
Yes, so January 28th through the 30th, Sam Rayburn Reservoir.
Yep.
Okay. March 25th through 27th, they go to Lake Texoma, which is just right up the road.
Right. I'll be there this weekend. They'll probably call me for information, Kevin.
Most likely. Then April 28th through the 30th, Steve, they come back to Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 3 events is on the same body of water. I don't know if I've ever heard of that before for a Toyota level event.
Well, it speaks volumes to Sam Rayburn.
Oh, yeah.
The level of fishing at Sam. And I'll go ahead and tell you now, 28th through the 30th of January, if we have a mild winter, look out. That's all I can tell you. They fixing to whack them. And then they come back again in April. It could be a slugfest on both those bodies of water. Also, another division that I pulled up that I thought was interesting because I could see guys from this region also fishing at March 4th to the 6th. And it's the Plains Division, Lake of the Ozarks at Osage Beach, Missouri. I've been there. It's a great place to go fishing. Good time of year to go to Lake of the Ozarks. April 8th to the 10th, Grand Lake, Oklahoma. Grand Lake is Grand Lake, just a great body of water. And then on May 6th to the 8th, Lake Darnell, right there in Russellville, Arkansas. So this region, including Sam Rayburn and Texoma and Darnell, Grand Lake, Oklahoma, this area is really going to be hosting some great events for the Toyota Series.
It is. I hate to see them come to Toledo this year and leave next year. I was really hoping we could get that Rayburn Toledo going again, but hopefully next year I'd love to get Sam Rayburn Toledo Sam Rayburn.
Yeah, no doubt.
That would be a good schedule for all of us right here.
As we've alluded to, upcoming events, B.A.S. Open Series this weekend on Sam Rayburn. Kevin?
The Sealy Big Bass Splash on Lake Fork is coming up in a couple weeks, September 18th, 19th, and 20th, and that will be a huge event.
And the Cowboy Division of the BFL will have its Super Tournament, 2-day championship on Sam Rayburn, the 26th and 27th of this month as well.
Mm-hmm. Then the FLW Toyota Southwestern Division comes to Sam Rayburn for their final event on October 15th. The Sealy's will also be the second week of October on Rayburn as well, I'm pretty sure. The 10th?
We'll look that up.
I'm pretty
we'll
sure
have
that's
that for
the
you
10th.
next. We'll make sure. We'll confirm that.
It's the first or second weekend in October. I'm pretty sure it's the second weekend.
Is that his fall shootout?
No, well, he brought the
he's
one
combining
from April.
those two.
He's combining those two.
Yeah, he's combining those two.
To make his big, it will be his big regular tournament because he moved it to this fall. So
also this weekend, ABA Bass Pro Shop Open Series 2-day championship is at Lake Texoma this weekend. That's where I will be. And so Chris Wayan is the tournament director for that organization. Does a great job. Looking forward. And that's the combination of South Texas Division, East Texas Division, all combining into one for a championship at Lake Texoma. So looking forward to that.
And one last time, check out some of our sponsors, the Boat Shop in Shreveport. Full support Garmin dealer. That's Garmin's being such a big deal now.
Yes.
Full support electronics, and trolling motors. They can work on them. They can put them on there. They can order some for you. 3J's four-way just south of Natchitoches here for all you South Louisiana guys coming to Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, and drive through Natchitoches and take the exit. Stop at 3J's four-way, grab a snack, and check out their tackle selection before you get on over to the lake. And last but not least, Pride Rods, made right here in South Texas. Calling Sam Rayburn home. I know a lot of them guys will be at Tackle Addict this weekend for the open tournament, showing off some rods. So stop by there and give them a shout.
Also, prayers and thoughts out to everybody that is dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Laura. I know even right here in our Natchitoches community, it was a Category 2 hurricane, which hit here. A lot of devastation in this region. Even our internet service is still down in a lot of places. A lot of people still without power. Hopefully this is the week, though, a lot of people get back to normal. As Cory Rambo enlightened us in their region of Beaumont, things are starting to get back to normal again. But it was devastation, and pray for the people in Lake Charles area, because they are truly devastated in that region. And if you find ways to help, please lend a neighbor a helping hand. And well, that's going to wrap us up, Kevin, for this week. We appreciate all your support, appreciate you watching. And if you want to continue to be a better angler, you got to watch Tackle Talk Live.